I'm inside and I got issues.
Oh yeah, those are good because the original hits. Now there's none of that.
Today's issue is Starblades, art and story by Kyle Ritter. I'm gonna see what this ranks on the salad scale. S for story, A for art, L for lettering, A for action, and D for drama. How does this book rank? The story can be summed up pretty quickly. There is a great war about to happen. Gardex is recruiting the Starblades across multiple settings to fight the Corruptor, who fought one of the Starblades so he doesn't corrupt the world. Interesting, right? Well, this story has a major problem about telling, not showing. Most of the book actually, is just people standing around talking to each other. There are panels or two of action, and then it returns to the everybody talking to each other. This is basically just a recruitment fetch quest in order to fight next issue. This book is a crescendo, and it just kind of stops. It stops at the peak, and I'm like, wait, I want to know more. But then it's like, okay, well, you got issue 2 is going to happen. We're going to explain everything in issue 2. Is there an issue 2? Let me know, please. I think by itself, it's not really enjoyable. I definitely raged reading this the first time. I was like, what? What is going on? I can feel my boredom, and I'm enraged at my boredom because I hate being bored, right? And I'm like, ah! But of course, I calmed down, and I was like, okay, so there's something here. There's a whole recruitment of people. We got these cool characters, and don't get me wrong, I'll talk about it more in the art section, but it is beautiful. I really like the characters' designs, and I like the idea. I just wish it was faster, and I felt like there should have been more moments of struggle getting each Starblade. I feel like each Starblade is just kind of hanging around doing whatever they're showing up. And then there's some moments of action, but overall, not enough for me to really enjoy it and get really interested in it. This book is exposition vomit, and if there was a little bit action beats in between the exposition vomit, then it would be a little bit more enjoyable for me. I would not read this again. But something really strong about this book is its art. Oh my goodness. Expert level colors. There's a limited color palette throughout the entire book, and each page is pretty monochromatic with a little bit of color added, but the entire book has a limited color palette. It's awesome, and it's expertly done, and the colors transition from one page to the other in an awesome way. It's so awesome. I love the art in this book. There's just not enough story to talk about. I really love the art style. I love the line art. I love how it's shaded. Everything about it. I just love. The faces are gorgeous. The bodies are gorgeous, both men and women. Oh my goodness. The anatomy is great, and the colors are even better. So I just absolutely adore this book for its colors. Now it's time for lettering. No onomatopoeia at all. I also noticed some typos throughout the book, and the dialogue is serviceable. It doesn't feel weird and disjointed, but also doesn't feel flowy. You know what I mean? It's kind of in that middle ground. I like the placement of the text bubbles on the page. It makes it easy for me to read. There's a lot of text in the text bubbles, so I'm very focused on the text of the bubbles, and it's a longer read because there's so much dialogue in each text bubble. But I think that makes it so I appreciate the art even more, having to spend more time on each page. Now it's time for action! The book starts with some people talking, and then we get to learn about the spirit animal powers, and we get to see the Starblades have their own spirit animal powers. I like this mechanism, being able to get a bunch of power, and then they have a bunch of power for an amount of time, and then they don't have that power anymore. There's a snake that's fought for a couple of panels. I honestly wish it was longer, because then I could live in that action more. Unless there's like a bunch of action back to back, then he can have a panel or two dedicated to each monster or something. Stuff like that. But it's mostly talking and then very brief moments of action. One of the Starblades fights the Corruptor for several pages, and I thought that was neat. I liked that part, but that was a little bit more towards the end. Overall, I just wish there was more action in this book. But what is there, I just wish was expanded upon, because it's pretty cool. This is a really cool idea. Now it's time for drama. Each Starblade is just having their own lives. They're doing their own thing. When Gardex shows up and recruits them. A corruptor slash kind of like a demon guy. He wants to destroy Earth. And Gardex wants the Starblades to come help him. Only the Starblades can stop him. If they work together as a team, they can stop him. And then the book ends. And I'm like, I would love to see that fight, but there needs to be an issue 2. I don't have issue 2. I need to see that fight. So, what does this book get on the salad scale? Story. There's some plot there, and the plot that is there I'm very interested in. I wish it was more fleshed out. I also wish it was less exposition vomit. The pacing slows to a crawl, which each text bubble I have to read. And each text bubble has information about the world, but I would get more memory about your world if instead of giving me a bunch of exposition in each text box, show that world, show the conflicts happening. What's fun about stories is the conflict. There needs to be some conflict. There's an umbrella conflict, but there needs to be small little conflicts that leads up to the big conflict. Otherwise, I'm not going to care. What has been shown in this book, I do care about. Like their powers, I think that's cool. I'd like to see more of it. So I'm gonna have to give this story, it's a 2. Art. Oh my goodness. I love the art so much. This is expert level art. It is Kyle Ritter. He is a wonderful colorist. I much appreciate the colors and how they blend between pages and how they look on the page. And it's just amazing. I look at this and I'm like in awe. I'm like, whoa, this is so beautiful. Love the colors, so good colors, amazing colors. I love the rendering of the characters. I think I'm just so focused on the colors because that's like the strongest point of the book. And then you got the characters, they're a close second. Great anatomy. Better anatomy skills than me, for sure. I have much to learn from Kyle Ritter and his art skills. I'm gonna have to give him a 5. 5. Letters! No onomatopoeia. The dialogue is alright. It gives me information. And it's not too clunky, but it's also not too flowy either. And it kind of forces me to sit on each text box and read it. But I also do like the positions of the text bubbles, so that's good. I think overall, there's some typos. Enough for me to notice. So I'm gonna have to give the lettering, that's probably like a 2.5. Action. I wish there was more action. There needs to be more action, but what action is there I really like? It just needs to be stretched out for longer. If there was more action in this book, I feel like it would help service the story better. Action and story really are intertwined, or action and drama are intertwined, depending on what type of genre it is. This feels like many drama. There's a lot of drama, but the way that it's presented could have been helped with added action. So I understand the stakes just intuitively instead of being told, and I'm like, well, I'm just being told that. It's learning the easy way versus learning the hard way about something. Learning a lesson, right? Learning the hard way, you learn the hard way. You deal with it 101 and you know. Versus somebody telling you, don't do this, then you're really like, okay. I don't know why exactly to the fullest emotional depth why I shouldn't do this, but I'm just not going to do it, right? It's the difference between the emotionality versus the non-emotionality. And I feel like this story, the way that the action is done, it doesn't really lend towards getting an emotional reaction out of me. And that's what story is all about. Emotions. You need to evoke emotions out of the reader, or else they're not going to resonate with it at all. Or anger. You're going to get anger, which is what happened to me. But there is some there, so I'm about to give the action, it's like a 1.5. And then the drama. There is some drama. What has been introduced, I'm interested in. But again, as I said, I think you need to add some action, some emotional stakes to really have me invested in the drama. And because everybody's just kind of standing around talking to each other, talking about the stakes of the world, just ton of information, right? I'm gonna care less, really. But a demon guy is about to destroy Earth. We gotta round up the Starblades. And in the next issue, we're gonna go against that guy. Dang, I wish I got to see that fight. That'd be a really cool fight. The drama's there, the threat is there, there's a huge threat, and I do know that these Starblades are the only people that can defeat this demon guy, the Corruptor. So the power levels have been fleshed out enough, which I appreciate. And the world itself has been fleshed out just enough for me to understand the stakes at hand. So I'm gonna have to give the drama, it's like a 3. What does Starblades get on the salad scale? It gets a 14 out of 25, and that has been Mince Got Issues.
Oh yeah, those are good because